Guys, Team Karen Reed has been busy this Monday morning with 3 new court filings as they gear up for this upcoming hearing at the end of the week to discuss the motion to dismiss counts 1 and 3. What the heck else is going to happen in the time leading up to then? Well, we're going to be tracking it all for you, but today we're going to break down these documents for you in today's video. Hello, 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 and welcome to Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, we are not law enforcement, we are just people. People who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including what the heck is going on with the Karen Reed team. So it seems like they had a very busy weekend. Karen Reed herself even showed up to support her supporters at one of the standouts. I think that was the one that was held in Dighton, where her parents live, and also where her car was picked up by the Popo, by Proctor and friends. So it was really cool to see some photos. So at the end of the video, I'll pull up a clip. There was a clip that Tom CPU shot of Karen speaking out to her supporters that I think was nice. But first, I want to get into the supplemental affidavit. So again, this was signed and dated yesterday, but it was filed this morning, along with a third supplemental, memorandum in support of Karen Reed's motion to dismiss those indictments 1 and 3. Okay, supplemental affidavit of David R. Yannetti. Also, side note, I wonder what the R stands for. Anybody have any guesses? In support of defendant's motion to dismiss, I, David R. Yannetti, do hereby depose and state the following is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. I am an attorney, yada, yada, yada. On July 31st, 2024, I received an unsolicited phone call from someone who informed me that he or she was a juror at the trial of this matter. The caller informed me of his or her full name, which confirmed for me that he or she was juror B. Information about whom I had included in my previous affidavit in support of this motion. So pretty much United saying, yeah, juror B says this was them, and this is how I can confirm that, yeah, they aren't just, some random weirdo who's trying to get their 15 seconds of fame. This is legit. During my phone conversation with juror B, he or she confirmed for me that the jury reached a unanimous not guilty verdicts on indictments 1 and 3. He or she told me that the only charge on which the jury was deadlocked was indictment 2. So again, manslaughter with those lesser included. Juror B told me that he or she was familiar with the affidavit that I previously filed in support of this motion. Juror B confirmed for me that the screenshot of a text message exchange that I referenced in paragraph 4, of that affidavit was accurate. Okay, so if ever there was a time for them to be like, hey, no, I never said that. That is not a screenshot of my text exchange. Actually, here it is. This would have been the time, but they are saying, nope, that's an accurate representation of the text message exchange between me and this intermediary with whom you're referring to. Specifically, juror B confirmed that he or she had texted it was not guilty on second degree and split in half for the second charge. When the judge sent us back with that Hernandez, so the Tui Rodriguez, or otherwise known as a Hernandez instruction, where Bev said, hey, the only people that could come to a verdict the best would be you guys. You guys are the best jury for it, etc. That is what they were referring to. Thing to look at the other side, it turned into a bully match, which we've all heard about before. So it seems like the crux of this confusion and a lot of the problems have to do understanding how to interpret the verdict slip form, which again, this was the reason why everybody who's like, oh, Alan Jackson was having a fit. This is why, because you have a jury here who after the fact is still like, yeah, we're still confused by all of this because we didn't know how to best express our opinions or our thoughts or what our final verdict was. And otherwise, maybe we would have, and maybe we wouldn't be here today. Who knows? I thought the prosecution didn't prove the case. So this is what the juror B is saying. So they're not speaking on behalf of the entire jury here. They're just saying, in their opinion, they felt like the prosecution didn't prove the case. And neither do I. Neither do a lot of people. No one thought she hit him on purpose or even thought she hit him on purpose. They gave us free counseling forms when we left. So, again, this is a direct quote from the text message exchange. Juror B clarified. So, this is the big, again, bombshell, but it's just nice that we get that clarification now of what they meant. So, Juror B now has clarified in this affidavit, however, that he or she meant to write, no one thought that she hit him on purpose or even knew that she had hit him. So, again, that would completely disregard that murder to that count one indictment completely. Juror B believes that every member of the jury, if asked, and this is the big one for me, will confirm that the jury reached a not guilty verdicts on indictments 1 and 3. Juror B believes that even jurors who were leaning towards a conviction on some part of indictment 2 will confirm that the other two indictments were acquittals. He or she believes that other jurors have been reluctant to come forward because there is so much public and media attention focused on this case. Maybe they're afraid because the Commonwealth kinda did threaten to dox them, but that's just my interpretation of what that post-trial notice of disclosure, was talking about. Signed under the pains and penalties of perjury this 4th day of August. So, yeah, this was all signed and dated yesterday. But this is big here, is Juror B essentially saying that even the people who were thinking about a conviction on some part of the count 2 charge, even they are willing to step forward and say, "No, no, no. This is correct. What the defense is saying is correct. And all this other hearsay on the internet, all this other mumbo jumbo junk isn't true. This is what went down in the jury room. This is what we were actually deadlocked on." Okay, cool. Appreciate that clarification. Appreciate the finders of fact, because that is what their role and duties are. And I just have to applaud this jury because at least in my experience, my very limited experience in covering trials, but also watching them in my own time and analyzing them in my own free time before I started this channel, I've never seen a jury like step up in the way that they have, and I just have to applaud them because you can tell they put a lot of time, thought, and energy into this, and this is something that is probably riding a lot on their consciences. And I can only imagine. So, and the fact that this juror, is willing to go so far as to say with 100% certainty that, yeah, everybody else is willing to go to bat for this too. And if you do ask them, and you do have to, and there is that duty, if they will step up and they will confirm this for you because that's what happened. This is what happened in the jury room, and why are we here? So that's huge, and that can only that only leads me to believe that they had some kind of verbal confirmation from the other members of the jury. I know that we've heard them talking about being in some kind of text exchange and text thread with one another. So I can only imagine the only reason why the juror B has now officially come forward instead of just silently supporting what was happening in the background. Whoa. Instead of them just silently supporting this, the original affidavit that came from the informant who supplied us with the screenshot of the text message thread between juror B and the intermediary. It only leads me to believe that now they've gotten the confidence and support from their fellow jury members and said, "Okay, yeah, I'll be the voice for all of you," and confirm and say, "Yeah," because that's the first time we've really heard that, is that somebody outwardly saying, not only am I speaking on behalf of myself, but I'm speaking on the behalf of my fellow jury, because I am certain. I don't know why they would swear by that, why they would include that in the affidavit if they weren't confident of that. So that gives me a lot of hope for and the more this stuff comes out, I mean, we only have a few days. The hearing's on Friday. So if there are other jurors who are willing to come forward, of course there's no pressure, but if if ever there was a time, I mean, the more and more the defense can stack these up. I mean, they already have a strong case to dismiss, in my opinion. But hey, the more the merrier, and the more people we can get to come forward and sign these affidavits before then, we might not even. Who knows? Bev could surprise us all and say, "All right, I have enough of what I need," or yeah, let's call them in. Let's get them to swear under oath, or get each and every juror to sign their own affidavit. I don't know. I don't know what would the court would require to dismiss these charges. All we know is that the hearing is going to be exclusive to oral arguments. So likely we'll hear from Marty Weinberg, and then we'll hear from Lally or Miss McLaughlin. She might even be arguing for the Commonwealth. I don't know. I feel like she usually is the one to handle those kind of arguments, but we'll see. We'll see how everything unfolds. But that is the supplemental affidavit. So I wanted to go over that one first. And then I wanted to go over this supplemental memorandum. This is the third one. So now comes the defendant, Karen Reed, by and through, undersigned counsel, and hereby respectfully submits this third supplemental memorandum in support of her motion to dismiss, filed July 8th, as reflected in the attached supplemental affidavit of David R. Yannetti, a deliberating juror in this case. Juror B placed an unsolicited phone call to attorney Yannetti confirming that the prior affidavit of David R. Yannetti accurately quoted his or her text messages saying it was not guilty on second degree. No one thought she hit him on purpose or even thought she hit him on purpose. That was the initial text message. Supplemental affidavit of David R. Yannetti, paragraph 4. Juror B clarified that he or she meant to write, no one thought she hit him on purpose or even knew that she had hit him. Juror B further confirmed that the jury reached a unanimous not guilty verdicts on indictments 1 and 3. Paragraph 2. She or he believes that every member of the jury, if asked, will confirm that the jury reached not guilty verdicts on indictments 1 and 3. Paragraph 3. So, again, as we just went through, based on the attached affidavit and all of the reasons set forth in its opening motion, first and second supplemental memoranda, and reply, the defense respectfully renews contention that the jury acquitted Miss Reed on counts 1 and 3. Alternatively, there was no manifest necessity for a mistrial as to those counts, and therefore the double jeopardy protections of the federal and state constitutions that those counts not be retried. If the court for any reason would not credit the affidavits of counsel in the same manner as the court would credit identical affidavits from the juror in question, or an affidavit that the juror has reviewed counsel's affidavits and confirms the accuracy of the representations attributed to them, then the defense respectfully requests permission to initiate contact. And this is the big thing because, again, everybody's like, Karen Reed's a murderer and this is all hearsay and blah, 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 blah. Here, this is the reason for all of this, because the defense is just trying to get the permission to initiate contact, which we'll go back to the Commonwealth's disclosure in a second, because they address this and they say it's not ethical for us to initiate contact. And yes, that might be true. However, that's why you file these motions. So you can get permission from the court to say, yeah, you can go and talk to these people and see what's up. And we can figure this all out and go from here. And maybe Bev will get a much shorter trial if there is a retrial for round 2, if they dismissed both of those counts. Imagine how much shorter. All that crap about Aruba, maybe even in the text message exchange with Karen, Brian Higgins, that'll probably get thrown out. I don't know. I don't know. What angle with the will the defense roll with? Will they still go with the cover up angle? Will they need to? I don't know. So, all really, really interesting, but again, then the defense respectfully requests permission to initiate contact with jurors A, B, D, and E for the sole purpose of asking them to affirm the accuracy of the three affidavits of Alan J. Jackson, the supplemental affidavit of David R. Yannetti, and then this third court filing is just a certificate of service from Marty Weinberg saying, I do hereby certify that on this day, August 5, I have served a copy of this document and the attached affidavit on Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally via email. So just him saying, yep, he has all this stuff. So I don't want to hear anything about that. But now I want to just go back to a part of this Commonwealth. And again, I just recorded a video breaking this down. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. But where they talk about the Commonwealth did not respond to this individual as the Commonwealth is ethically prohibited from engaging in discussions about the jury's deliberative process, which again totally like negates what their initial response, where it took them like several days, I think even like over a week for them to respond to the defense's motion as well as the preceding affidavits in support of their motion to dismiss, where they were just claiming everything, all of this is hearsay, and how do you even know this is true? Meanwhile, they were contacted by jurors before that hearing on the 22nd. Now, that was after their initial response, I believe, when they initially filed that. But still, that was before the hearing where we set all the dates. That nothing burger of a hearing that could have been over Zoom. Could have saved everybody some gas, but whatever. Um, so I find it interesting that Commonwealth comes forward on Friday with this notice of disclosure where they're finally admitting, yeah, we actually did get contact. And I wonder because in their affidavit, not affidavit, excuse me, in that notice of disclosure, where they say that they received an unsolicited voicemail. Now, I don't know because there's been a lot of filings over the last several weeks, mainly from the defense. Because up until this point, we thought that the only people the jury was contacting was either the press, Christina Rex, or the defense. We didn't know that they contacted the Commonwealth because the Commonwealth didn't tell us till Friday with this filing. But I don't recall from any of the affidavits that how the jurors came forward to the defense was via phone. So I'm almost inclined to believe, and this is pure speculation, this could have been a totally different juror. I don't know. But was this unsolicited voicemail on the 21st potentially from juror B? Because in this supplemental affidavit, which we just pulled up, and I'll pull it up again just so we can compare. And this is the much more difficult version to read since it's via Twitter. That on the 31st, 10 days later, from when Lally got this unsolicited voicemail, David Yannetti receives an unsolicited phone call from someone. Is it the same person? I don't know where anywhere else where it was mentioned somebody else had called them. I was under the impression that anybody else who had contacted the defense was via like email or again through an intermediary, or excuse me, an informant, not from the horse's mouth itself. But now, seemed like juror B called the defense. So is it possible that juror B also was the one to leave an unsolicited voicemail for Lally on the 21st? I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But there's a 1 out of 12 shot that it was. I'm kind of inclined to believe now that they've come forward themselves to the defense and are signing an affidavit. So now you have the support of the informant, which was already good, but it's always better when you hear it from the horse's mouth themselves. Now you also have them saying, well, no, like everybody else is going to also step up and confirm what I just confirmed. I'm 100% certain if they were asked, you'd get the same response I'm giving you. And that's very telling. That's extremely telling. And I think things are only going to get spicier over the next couple of days. I don't know if the Commonwealth is going to respond in any way, shape, or form to this. I don't know if they would need to. Or if another juror is going to potentially come forward. But as we know from this affidavit and this juror, apparently the remaining jurors who haven't come forward in some capacity are afraid to because of public and media scrutiny. And I don't know if that's, again, going back to the Commonwealth's disclosure and saying that they had this ethical obligation to not further communicate or further engage in discussions about the jury's deliberative process, that they said they would welcome the opportunity to discuss the evidence or the Commonwealth's case. However, we are ethically prohibited from inquiring as to the substance of your jury deliberations that would include your individual or the jury's collective thought process, the content of your deliberations, or the reasons for your decisions. It was further explained that the Commonwealth could not promise confidentiality and that the substance of any communications may necessitate disclosure to the defendant or the court. And then after that, all three jurors declined to further communicate. So I don't know if those were those could have been three other jurors, or it could have been that juror B. And because that was not 10 days ago when they filed that, but when they had allegedly gotten that response from the Commonwealth, it was on the 16th, but didn't make any sense to me because the date seemed completely out of order, unless there was a typo and they meant July 26th, which would have made sense. But I could see it being juror B. I could see them being one of the three that was afraid to come forward further. And then this thing comes out. And then they're like, all right, well, you know what? Like, the hearing's coming up. Like, I'm sure they're all well aware. I'm sure they're all following the case. I'm sure they are. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's the same juror? I mean, not that it really matters, but I'm just more curious who those three were that came forward. Maybe they were leaning towards a conviction on some of the count 2 charges. I don't know. And then Lally seemingly scared them away from giving a statement. Like, I don't know, from communicating I don't know. But really interesting, really busy Monday. And then I wanted to just quickly show, so Karen Reed over the weekend actually joined. Oh, and then we have the Colin Albert video, which we'll go over as well too. But yeah, Karen Reed actually met up with some of her supporters at Dighton. And CPU Tom CPU, excuse me. Tom CPU actually had her give a couple of words, which was just cool. So if you're in the Massachusetts area and you want to go to any of these standouts, I'll do my best. I know not all of you are on Twitter, but I'll do my best to share in the community tab when the next ones are coming. This just kind of over the weekend, they were like, oh yeah, we're doing like almost like a statewide standout, which was really cool. So next time there's going to be more standouts for sure, especially depending on what happens on Friday. But so I'll keep you guys posted in the community tab. But this is posted by Mazza Media, also doing great coverage. So make sure to give him a follow on YouTube as well as on Twitter if you're on.
Want to add anybody? Well, there's a lot of people.
I love you all. Thanks for your support, and they'll never break me. Never, ever, ever, no matter what. Never be broken. Thank you. Thank you.
We love you, Karen.
Oh, Tommy, you got gold, bro.
Just like awesome. And like there's been like so many more like photos that I've seen on my timeline. I don't know if I've saved all of them. I haven't saved any of them, but there's been a lot of photos of Karen just from the weekend. Here she is. Well, that's from June, but like now that I want to show you guys, I can't find. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, she was with. Yeah, this was from the Dighton one. The Brian from LTL. He's over here. And it's just so nice, you know? Like it's just nice to see. Like everybody wants to paint her as like this evil, like you never see her like care, like it's like she's no matter what she does, no matter whether she goes out to her supporters and shows gratefulness and graciousness, she's bad. But if she doesn't, then she's just some phony celebrity wannabe, right? So it's like no matter what this woman does or doesn't do, she's freaking damned by court of public opinion. But it's just nice to see not only people going out and supporting her, but her showing up too and saying thank you and giving people and these creators that are in the mainstream media, but you know, people who have built their channel on just covering this case, the time of day and answering questions and just again demonstrating grace. So for me, that's not somebody who seems, and I don't know her. She could be the world's biggest bitch. I have no idea. I don't know, but I think that that's just like goes to show the kind of person she is. And you always see her like, you know, posing in pictures with kids as well too, and that's just so nice to see. So really awesome. But last but not least, I want to show this video of Colin Albert. This was, I think, posted like the other day. I think I first saw it from Turtle Boy. He probably wrote an article about it by now. And it just goes to show like how like classless these people are, like, and just how trashy. And I get it, like people are getting, Colin's just a kid and he's just doing stuff, and I get it. I did dumb stuff too when I was 21. I was also working in a club. Like that was, talk about degenerates, like that was me living my best degenerate life as a dancer working in a club and doing just, you know, not treating my body well and doing some of these dirtbag things too, and that's fine and that's fair. But you know, I also wasn't testifying in a murder trial where I was trying to paint myself as a saintly woman. And I, you know, my life has been completely destroyed because of all this witness intimidation stuff. And I'm just, you know, this church boy and this, that, and the third. I'm a good kid and on the straight and narrow path. Meanwhile, he's posting videos like this, and I wonder who they're referring to in this video too. But this was posted by Turtle Boy. They're drinking some kind of, I guess, espresso martini, but it just like there's so many. Oh my god, there's so many issues that I have with this one. Why are you chugging? That is disrespectful to the martini glass, sir. You don't chug a martini, especially a dessert martini. No. Who taught you that that is okay? You don't chug. You chug beers. You don't chug liquor like that unless you're doing like a Jaeger bomb or you're doing like a pickleback or a J motion. You're not doing that to an espresso martini. You sip that. That's like what you have when mom and dad serve with cake and coffee after your family came over for the family barbecue. The heck are you doing? Who taught you that? That's problem number one. Like, I don't know who this girl is, but she looks beyond zonked out. And I don't know if they were like also on something. I'm just speculating here. I don't know. She could have just been really, drunk, but listen to what he says in this video.
And let's destroy them all. Cheers. Flip it off.
Fuck you and your fucking mom, dude.
Yep.
F you and your effing mom too. Now, because I saw that Turtle Boy posted this, so I can only, my speculation brain was like, was this like directed towards Turtle Boy? And I don't know if he interpreted it like that. And I'm not like, generating rumors or trying to start anything, but that was the way I interpreted it. I'm like, oh, he's sharing this and like, his mom passed away and Colin's one of the kids that's crying wolf and saying, Turtle Boy is intimidating me and harassing me, and I'm so sad and I'm so innocent and afraid. Meanwhile, he's flipping us all off and saying, F you, let's destroy them all. Like, who are you destroying, sir?
You.
Facts.
Like, he just reminds me of like, it makes me ashamed to admit this, but he reminds me of every asshole I've ever dated. And like it's not good. It's not good. I hate to admit it, but it really does. He gives that I peaked in high school energy. He reminds me of every single guy I've pretty much ever dated. I just like and who is this girl? Like, that doesn't make you look good, especially to colleges. Like, I don't know what Colin Albert's doing, if he even needs to work, or if mommy and daddy are just paying for everything, or if he's working at dad's pizza shop, make some cash on the side. I don't know what he's doing with his life, but I thought I heard he got kicked out of college. So if you're trying to reapply to college or anything, I can only imagine, or even if you're looking to apply to like the military or the police academy, God forbid, right? It's not gonna, you posting videos like that, dude, isn't gonna really sit well in an admissions office. Like, you don't attach that with your college application and say, yeah, this is me. Like, this is my community work. Like, this is something they do background checks, bro. And everything lives on the internet. And you're involved in a murder trial. So not only that, does that look bad for you from a personal or professional standpoint if you try to get any kind of job going forward? That's why I have to be extremely careful about what I post, because I still have a day job where I'm working with clients, and if I use certain language or I'm sharing certain things on social media publicly, that's not going to make me look great. That's going to be a problem that could bite me in the butt, right? But not only that, scratch that all aside, you're involved in a murder trial. You were called to testify, where you're trying to paint yourself as this like angelic, like innocent child, this good boy who hasn't like shown any evidence to prove that you are. And not that this is just because you're a drunken fool and you're a stupid kid doesn't mean that you get into fights and mean that you beat up people, but there are videos of you getting into fights with people that are not your brothers. So it just goes to further prove that you're a liar, dude. And if the defense can get it into evidence, guess what? They're going to use it. They're going to use whatever you post. So yeah, please keep posting. Keep posting. You're just helping Karen read more. But I mean, My God. And then this last thing I want to share is Joe Flipperhead. He's a great creator here on Twitter. If you don't follow him, please give him a follow. He's got some really good breakdowns. I don't know why I'm not I feel like I was following him and then it unfollowed. And so I just want to play a little bit of this, not all of it. It's about 6 minutes long. I'll link it in the description box below so you can watch the full video. And also too, I didn't get explicit permission from Joe to share this, so I want to respect that. But I thought this was brilliant.
Take the testimony at the trial and juxtapose it with, you know, the bang bang and facts and say, look at what's going on here.
So he hasn't shown up?
He often doesn't. I like reminding everybody that he's out there.
I insist. If you insist.
You know, Colin, what kind of a young man is he?
Anytime that I've met him, he's been he's a respectful kid. He's kind. I think, you know, he's really been rattled by the abuse that's been leveled at him, and it's completely unmerited. I'm going to call him
This poor kid, Colin Albert.
I mean, how silly is that, man?
Indicating that you have no violent tendencies, no violent proclivities, right?
Nope.
Boys, I will beat all your asses. I promise you, I will fuck you all up. Pull up, bitch.
So when you said, I will fuck you up and I will beat your ass, was that a friendly invitation?
No.
That was a threat, correct?
I don't know if I would call it a threat.
Don't?
Bitch, bro. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, you pussy.
Clean cold, boy. You be knocked out. KO. Bang, bang.
Fuck you a number of times. And then you said, KO, you said, pull up, KO, bang, bang. Right?
Correct.
Explain that to me.
I'm not sure, like, explain what I said.
Is that a threat?
Yeah.
Yes, Colin, explain what you said. Pull up, bitch. Bang, bang. I just love how Alan checks. You know, he was living his best life when he was reading this. Like, this was probably like one of the most fun cross-examinations he had. Just being able to, like, it's so bizarre. Like, this is real life, people. This is real life. This is in court. Like, imagine being Madam Court Reporter and, like, speaking into your little, like, oxygen mask and saying, pull up, bitch. Like, this is insane. It's insane. But you see, he's going back, and some of these clips were admitted into evidence during testimony. If you didn't watch the trial, it was. But now with this Snapchat video of him chugging, like, every video that comes out, he seems to be drinking. He seems to be some kind of, like, level of impaired, intoxicated. It's just and I'm not saying, again, because I'd be a hypocrite if I said I didn't do any of those dumb things either, or I didn't make stupid Snapchat videos. That's my generation, Colin. Because you're not a millennial. I'm a millennial. A younger millennial, but I'm a millennial. And Snapchat was invented. That was the scary Wild West of when you could send inappropriate pictures and it disappearing and all that. And nobody thinking that it would ever come into light now. But yeah, this stuff saves and they can get access to all. And now it's shared. Somebody screen recorded it. It's on the internet forever. And it's not going away. And it just, again, it goes to show just how unaware these people are about their actions and their behavior. And they think their shit doesn't stink. They think they're never going to be called out on their crap. They think that they're never going to be caught. And maybe they won't be. Maybe they won't be. Maybe they will never get indicted themselves. I have no idea. But it feels like they all think that their shit doesn't stink. Like, they can just post whatever they want. No repercussions. Like, None of this is going to come out, and that's just how dim and unaware they are of the situation. That no, all of this can be used because it's public access. So do you not think that during a retrial, if Alan Jackson calls you up again, which he absolutely will, and he's not gonna try and get this video into evidence or whatever other videos you're posting between now and then, of course, go ahead, keep posting them, bro. This is great for Karen Reed's defense. But I mean, my God, you look like a clown. You look like a clown, and I'm not saying that you can't have fun and, he's not a kid. I get it. You're 21, whatever, 22, but the difference between you and other 21, 22-year-olds who are doing the same things, they're not part of a murder trial. They're not trying to prove that they had nothing to do with this. And even though you're a witness and you don't carry any of that sort of burden, it's not going to make you and your family members look good. Especially when you're blatantly lying on the stand and trying to portray yourself as this, as good boy who does all the right things, He's not. So again, from a character standpoint, doesn't really make you look good. But that's just my opinion. But I thought Joe Flipperhead did a really good job of just comparing the two. So I'll play a little bit more.
Pull up, bitch. Right?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Those same advantage kids.
Got it.
This poor kid, Colin Albert.
So you're threatening him yet again a second time.
Yeah.
What does pull up mean?
Like come by.
Yeah, meaning get over here. Right?
Yep.
Because when you do, I'm going to fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
Meaning I'm going to fight you and I'm going to put you down. Correct?
Correct.
That was your threat to them.
But he's not a bad kid. He's not a violent kid.
Where do you go sort of first thing when you walk in?
I always tell my mom and my dad that I'm home and usually go up to their bedroom, give them a hug goodnight, tell them I love them, and then go down to bed.
And did you do that on that occasion?
Yes.
He loves giving the bird. I love this. I gotta play this back again because how many of you believe that Colin Albert at the end of every night goes up to mommy and daddy's room and gives them a hug and a kiss? Like what 20? I don't know anybody who does that. Come on now. Come on. What kind of BS are you trying to spin? You're going up to mommy and daddy's room and giving them a kiss goodnight? Come on.
Did you do that on that occasion?
Give them
He's not a violent kid.
Where do you go sort of first thing when you walk in?
I always tell my mom and my dad that I'm home and usually go up to their bedroom, give them a hug goodnight, tell them I love them, and then go down to bed.
And did you do that on that occasion?
Yes.
Justice for Peter Berger. You'll beat my face. You could. Right. You seem really intimidated. I'm glad you said that on film.
You ever been in a fight, sir?
Other than with my brothers, no.
You've never been in a fight?
Nope.
Your entire life?
Other than with my brothers, no.
Oh, who's that one?
July 27th, 2023. Do you remember being at another hearing?
Yes.
Do you remember the question about the condition of your fist? Literally at the hearing?
Yeah.
It was obvious to the person that was questioning you that you had an injury to your fist, correct?
This poor kid, Colin Albert.
Things that were being written about you on.
I'd say about a little over a year. It started when people on Twitter, Instagram, social media were just coming at my family, calling us murderers, harassing us, showing up to our doorsteps, our sports games. I mean, we couldn't leave the house without people taking pictures of us, and it's very terrible.
And how long has that gone on for?
The past year and change, a couple months. Past year and a couple months, I'd say.
Let's destroy them all. Cheers.
Fuck you and your fucking mom, dude.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Facts.
Like what with the middle finger? I mean, I like to do the rock star, like the rock on, sometimes like a like rock and roll, but like I mean, this is like what is this?
This is from when he was maybe 16 years old. Every 16-year-old says some silly stuff on social media these days. That's just what they do. But he's not a bad kid. He's not a violent kid. He's always been very kind.
I love that. This is great. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bang bang.
And I would have even added what? How old was Greta Thunberg? Whatever you think about her, or Thunberg rather. How old was she? Wasn't she like 13 or some shit? Or 14 when she made like her big speech? I mean, it's just like regardless of what you think about her, again, it's just I love it. I love it. Like that we need more creators like that. And I'm not sophisticated enough to do all that, but congrats to Joe Flipperhead. Please give him a follow. I know we just went through the whole thing, but it's too good not to. It was too good. Because it just goes to show that yeah, these people are full of shit. They are, excuse my language, but they are. They're full of it. And they speak it like they don't even I think they've actually convinced themselves that this is the truth. Like they live in some warped alternate reality where they believe everything that what they're saying is true. Chris Albert, on the other hand, who's his father, I think he's well aware of the bullshit that he's saying. And he realizes it's total crap. But I think he's convinced Colin Albert that this is the alternate reality that they're living in and everybody else is just out to get them. Because they're like these amazing pillars of the community that we're looking to tear down and take down, and we like just preying on innocent kids like Colin Albert. He's an adult. He's an adult. And like, yeah, he's a kid. Like, yeah, okay. But I mean, not for nothing. How many 21, 22-year-olds are a witness in a murder trial? Not many. Not many. And I think, and I'm not a parent, but just speaking from someone who used to be a degenerate and delinquent when I was that age, who's done stupid things. I'm sure one day there's going to be videos resurfacing about me and my past. I'm fully prepared to own it and take accountability. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fair. I grew up. I lived a different lifestyle back then. But you would hope, you would think that because of the severity of everything he does, everything any one of them does now is being held to public scrutiny. And more so, can be used against them. And can only be useful to the defense if they can get any of this stuff into discovery for a retrial. You don't think that they're not going to use it? Of course they are. Even that video that Joe Flipperhead flipped to with Chris Albert, his dad, making a threat to Turtle Boy. Like, this is their behavior. Like, they are the aggressors. They are the people who make violent threats. Have you ever heard Karen Reed say anything remotely close to any of these things? Not over text messages, no matter how angry she was. In that text exchange between her and John O'Keefe, did she ever once say something to the effect of, "Pull up, bitch. Bang, bang. I'm going to destroy you, John. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take your kids and I'm going to take you out." No. No. Because that's the difference. This is the class versus the classless. And that just goes to show. I mean, we've seen it with Jill Daniels, who made freaking headlines of the Boston Herald. I don't know if you guys caught that one last week, too. You put yourself in the headlines, Jill. When you go and you do stupid stuff like this. When you act unhinged. Like, what are we supposed to think? And the same thing goes for you, Colin. I'm not saying what you're doing is necessarily bad or illegal, these videos that you're posting, but it doesn't show you in this other light that you're trying to portray to the jury. And now that all of this time and space has been out there, if they do end up finding a new venue, I mean, they really have no choice but to find a new venue to retry this trial in. I mean, this story is global. Like, you're not going to find a corner in the United States where nobody is talking about this. So I can only imagine, like, the jurors that are going to be jurors on this case may be watching this all unfold now. And it's going to be really hard to find a completely neutral jury pool, because now you guys are putting all this crap out there and you're just fueling it up, and you're not helping your family's reputation. You're making them look worse and worse. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. We just launched today, yay, our membership community. So if you have a case suggestion for as little as $4.99 a month, you will get first priority for all case suggestions. We also have some other amazing perks as well, including members only shoutouts, members only live streams, small business features. So if you are a fellow content creator, artist, entrepreneur, writer, have anything that you want me to feature, you kind of act as if you are this channel's sponsor. So you actually get to have your Etsy store, your products, your books, whatever creations that you are working on and you want to share with this community. I will give you a shout out at the end of every single video that I post. Early access to new videos, as well as investor only live streams, discounts on future merch, investors only meetups, and so much more. This is an amazing new milestone that this channel has reached, and it allows me to put more time, more resources into growing this channel and getting this news out to you even faster. Because again, the more that I can work on growing this channel and giving you guys what you want and what you want to see in the cases that you want me to follow along with you, the less I need to do my day job, and we can get this growing together. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. And if you want to become a member, you can hit the join button below this video. I don't know how it looks on iPhone, if it's like different on Android. So if you have trouble locating it, just let me know. You can shoot me an email and I'll send you a link to join. Other than that, if you can't afford to sign up as a member, no worries. I'm still incredibly grateful to have you part of here, and there's still plenty that you can do. You can hit that subscribe button. You can hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video update from me in regards to this case, because again, we have that big hearing coming up at the end of the week, as well as hitting that like button. It's free to do, takes 2 seconds, and it helps me get this news out to more and more people. And again, at the end of the day, what we need is to get the story out to even more people, to reach even more people, to continue to put pressure on these agencies to do the right thing, And by you hitting the like button, you are part of a way bigger movement than you and I can even potentially conceive. And that would help out Karen Reed and her defense team a ton. Just by sharing the story and sharing this news. So if you can't make a donation, that's a great way to show your support too. Or leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts, opinions are as well too. I'm always open to having conversations, respectful discussions, and debates in the comment section with you below. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.